You might think slot machines are pure chance, fair, random, everyone with the same shot at a jackpot. But ex-casino insiders say randomness is carefully constructed, and every spin is shaped by rules you never see. The outcomes? Decided the instant you press the button, locked in by math, not timing, not luck. Even identical slot games can offer wildly different paybacks depending on hidden settings chosen by management, not chance. If you have ever wondered why your luck feels so different from the next player's, or why long-term losses seem inevitable, here is what the house never tells you. The real game starts with the secrets behind that first spin. Inside every modern slot machine, a computer chip runs a random number generator, RNG. This chip never stops working. Even when nobody is playing, it cycles through numbers thousands of times per second around the clock. The moment a player presses the spin button, the machine grabs whatever number the RNG is on at that exact instant. That number, invisible to anyone watching, instantly determines the outcome. The reels start spinning, but the real decision has already happened, locked in before the first symbol even blurs past the screen. A former slot technician with years maintaining machines on busy casino floors demonstrates how this works on a decommissioned cabinet. In service mode, the machine's internal log shows a precise timestamp. The instant the spin button is pressed, a record appears. The outcome, win, loss, or jackpot, is already fixed. The animation that follows is just a show, mapping the predetermined result to the spinning reels. No matter how long the reels spin, or how quickly a player hits a stop button, nothing can change what is already decided. The machine does not wait for the reels to land before updating the credit meter. In fact, if you watch closely, the credit display sometimes jumps the moment the spin starts, long before the reels finish moving. The only thing that matters is the timing of the button press, down to the millisecond. Press a split second earlier or later, and you get a completely different outcome. But there is no way to predict which millisecond will deliver a big win. The sequence is too fast, too unpredictable, and completely out of human reach. Casino technicians know this process inside and out. They use the same logs to troubleshoot malfunctions, verify payouts, and prove to regulators that every spin is independent and fair, at least by the rules of the math. The reels, the lights, the near misses, and the anticipation are all part of the experience. But the real game happens behind the scenes in that fleeting moment when the RNG is sampled. For players, the spin is a ritual. For the machine, it is a calculation, finished before the show even begins. Return to player, known as RTP, is the percentage of all wagered money that a slot machine is designed to pay back to players over a huge number of spins. For most people, it is an abstract number tucked away in the fine print. But for casino management, it is a decision point with real financial consequences. The same slot title, same graphics, same sounds, same bonus features can be installed with several different RTP settings. One version might be set to pay back 88% of wagers over time, while another, just a few feet away, could be set to 96%. These are not guesses or averages. They are certified options built into the machine software, approved by regulators, and selected through the operator menu at installation. A former floor manager with more than a decade overseeing slot operations explains how these choices play out behind the scenes. When a new bank of machines arrives, the team meets with finance and decides which RTP setting to use. The choice depends on location, competition, and what kind of players the casino expects. On the Strip, where tourists come and go, management might choose a higher RTP, such as 94% or 96%, to encourage longer play and create more visible winners. In quieter properties or captive markets, the same game could be set to the lowest approved version, quietly increasing the house edge without changing anything a player can see. The process is handled through a secure configuration menu. The technician enters a password, selects from the list of certified payback percentages, and locks in the setting. Once chosen, the RTP version is logged in the machine non-volatile memory, and, in most jurisdictions, cannot be changed again without a formal process. That process requires powering down the cabinet, breaking a regulatory seal, and updating the audit trail for inspectors. For players, there is no way to tell which version is running. The pay table on the screen looks identical, and the game plays the same way. Only the long-term math, stretching over tens or hundreds of thousands of spins, reveals the difference. Over months, the impact is substantial. A slot running at 88% RTP will keep about twice as much of players' money as one set to 96% RTP. But in the short term, luck and variance can mask these differences. Players may walk away with a win on either version or lose quickly on both. The invisible setting only reveals itself through the casino bottom line. For management, this is a tool for tuning the floor performance. For players, it is a reminder that not every machine is created equal, even when they look identical on the surface. A former slot player remembers sitting at two machines that looked identical, side by side, both flashing the same jackpot across their screens. The first machine handed out small wins every few minutes, a few credits here, a modest line hit there. The second machine seemed to drain the bankroll spin after spin, with nothing but empty reels and the occasional near miss. Then, out of nowhere, a massive bonus round hit. The player's credits shot up in a single dramatic leap. Both machines advertised the same return to player, but the experience could not have felt more different. This is the effect of volatility, a setting built into every slot's math. High volatility machines are designed for long dry spells, punctuated by rare, sometimes spectacular wins. They can leave players feeling unlucky or frustrated until that one big payoff erases hours of losses in a single moment. Low volatility machines, on the other hand, hand out frequent but modest rewards. Players get more hits, more flashing lights, and a sense that they are doing okay, even as their credits slowly disappear over time. Manufacturers control volatility by adjusting how often certain symbols appear on the virtual reels and how the bonus features are triggered. The result is a carefully tuned ride. Some games keep players engaged with a steady drip of small wins, while others build tension and anticipation, making every rare bonus feel like a jackpot. For the casino, both types lead to the same long-term edge. For players, the difference is emotional. One machine feels generous, the other feels stingy. But the math behind both is working exactly as intended. Slot technicians arrive in the pre-dawn hours, rolling tool carts down silent aisles of machines. At a glance, nothing seems to change. Behind each locked cabinet door, a legally approved process is underway. Every machine on the casino floor comes with a menu of certified paytables, different mathematical models that decide how often and how much a game pays out. When management wants to adjust the floor, they do not swap out the graphics or the cabinet. Instead, they instruct technicians to select a new configuration from the list, each one logged and approved by regulators in advance. A former slot technician describes the routine. The machine is powered down and tagged out of service. A regulatory seal, tamper-evident tape, or a numbered sticker is broken and the cabinet is opened. Inside, a small chip or memory module holds the current pay table. The technician replaces it with another, or in newer models, selects a new setting through a secured menu, entering a password and confirming the change. Every step is documented. The date, time, old and new configuration, and the technician's ID are entered into a non-volatile memory log that cannot be erased or altered. Once the change is complete, a new seal is applied and the machine is returned to service. These swaps are not done in secret. Regulators require detailed records, and in some jurisdictions, random audits ensure compliance. But to the player, the machine looks and sounds exactly the same. The only difference is invisible: how the math unfolds over thousands of spins. This is how a slot bank can go from feeling generous to feeling tight, all within the rules. Myths about hot and cold machines often begin the morning after a rotation. What actually changed was the internal math, not the luck of the players. For the casino, it is a way to fine-tune performance without breaking the law or raising suspicion. For players, the odds quietly shift, logged and sealed away long before anyone presses spin. Casino floors are engineered as carefully as the games themselves. A former floor manager with years spent mapping layouts for major properties describes how traffic patterns and player types shape every placement decision. At the main entrances, clusters of the flashiest machines greet new arrivals with bright screens, booming soundtracks, and popular branded titles. These machines are designed to catch the eye of casual visitors and tourists, people drawn in by spectacle or the promise of a life-changing win. The goal is not just to impress, but to pull in as many first-time spins as possible, right where foot traffic is thickest. Deeper into the casino, the atmosphere shifts. Long banks of machines stretch into quieter corners, often filled with games that look less dramatic, but are tuned for steady, extended play. Regulars and seasoned players know these areas well. They seek out familiar cabinets, lower denominations, and games that promise more time on device, even if the wins are smaller. And the edge is just as sharp. Here the pace is unhurried, and the focus is on sessions that last hours, not minutes. The layout acts as a silent guide. High volatility slots and attention-grabbing cabinets line the busiest walkways, while steady earners fill the grind zones where regulars settle in for the long haul. Floor maps updated every quarter track which banks perform best and which need a refresh. When a machine underperforms, it's not just swapped out, it's relocated, sometimes closer to the action, sometimes deeper into the maze. The environment itself quietly sorts players, channeling casuals toward games that dazzle, and regulars toward machines that maximize playtime. For management, every move is a calculated step in a system designed to capture every type of player, one spin at a time. Inside a casino's back office, a loyalty host stares at a glowing dashboard. Player IDs scroll past, each one tracked by time on device, coin in totals, average bet size, and spins per hour. This is not a game of chance. This is data collection running in real time. Every time a player inserts a loyalty card, the system starts logging. The clock tracks how long they have played, how fast they are betting, and how much they have risked. The dashboard updates constantly, flagging high-value players and those hitting certain thresholds. A former loyalty analyst explains how these systems work. We do not touch the game's math. The RNG does not care if you have a card or not. But the moment you swipe in, the system knows how much you are playing and how long you are staying. That is what drives our offers. The system is not designed to pick winners. It is built to spot opportunity. When a player crosses a preset line, 3 hours at the machine, or a certain amount wagered, the host gets a notification. Maybe it is time to offer a free meal, a show ticket, or a comped room. The goal is simple. Keep the player in the building and at the machine for as long as possible. The comp value is calculated as a percentage of what the casino expects the player to lose over time, based on bet size and session length. It is called theoretical win, and it is not about luck. It is about maximizing each player's time on device. The longer someone plays, the closer their results align with the house edge, and the more predictable the outcome becomes. The player may feel rewarded, while the system is quietly working to keep them spinning. No matter how many offers arrive, the odds on the machine never change. The RNG does not know or care who is playing, but the casino's data engine is always watching, always ready to nudge a player to stay just a little longer. Clusters of wins and losses on slot machines are not a sign of hidden cycles or a game that has suddenly turned lucky or cold. In any random system, like a series of coin flips, results naturally clump together. Long runs of heads, then tails, then another streak. Slot machines work the same way. A string of jackpots on one machine, or a dry spell that seems endless, is just the math at work. Each spin is independent, but randomness itself creates patterns that our brains are wired to notice. A floor manager with years on the job recalls the effect of a big jackpot. The bells go off, lights flash, and a crowd gathers. Staff congratulate the winner, and for the rest of the night, players flock to that machine, convinced it is in a hot streak. But behind the scenes, nothing has changed in the math. The same machine might go hundreds of spins without another major win, while another machine across the room quietly pays out a handful of smaller prizes. The memory of that one visible win overshadows the thousands of silent losses happening all around it. This is called survivorship bias. Casinos amplify it, making every jackpot a spectacle, while most losses pass unnoticed. The result is a distorted sense of how often big wins really happen. Players remember the excitement of near misses, the jackpot symbol just above or below the pay line, far more than the endless routine losses. Modern slots are designed to deliver these near misses regularly. The reels are arranged so that almost hits appear more often than pure chance would suggest, even though the odds of actually winning stay the same. These moments keep players engaged, feeding the belief that a win is just around the corner, even when the math says otherwise. A former slot player sits down with a printout of their player card history, a record of a single marathon session that lasted over 6 hours on the same machine. The timeline tells a familiar story. In the first hour, a string of small wins pushes the credit meter up by nearly $300. Excitement builds, and the player increases their bet, convinced they are on a roll. Over the next 2 hours, the wins slow down. The credit meter drifts downward, punctuated by the occasional bonus round or near miss. By the 4th hour, the player is back to even. The next stretch is a slow grind. The machine alternates between modest wins and long dry spells, but the overall direction is steady and unforgiving. By the end of the 6th hour, the initial winnings are gone, and the credit meter has dropped below the starting point. The session finishes with a net loss that matches the house edge almost exactly. This pattern is not unique. Across thousands of sessions, the law of large numbers takes over. Early luck, good or bad, fades as more spins accumulate. For every player who walks away ahead after a short run, dozens more stay in their seats, chasing that early high, only to see their results regress toward the machine's programmed return. The casino's advantage is not hidden in the graphics or the sounds. It is baked into the math, waiting patiently as each spin brings the results closer to the long-term average. The more time a player spends on a machine, the more certain the outcome becomes. The real winner is time itself, quietly pulling every session toward the house's expected share. Every year, Americans lose over $40 billion to slot machines, by design, not by chance. As casinos deploy ever more sophisticated math and behavioral science, the real risk isn't a streak of bad luck. It's time spent in a system engineered for your loss. In the end, awareness is the only edge that's truly yours. How you use it now is up to you.